Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Juice Ninja here. Today we're going to be reacting to Hiru Maredix. Sorry if I said your name wrong. Garrosh did nothing wrong. Now, I've been seeing so many comments in my video saying Garrosh did nothing wrong, and so many people saying, nah, he's crazy, he's a terrible person. Other people arguing why he did it. He has reasons behind what he did. Time to settle the debate. If this is your first video on my channel, hey, make sure to like and subscribe. I have so many other World of Warcraft reactions that you might enjoy, and many more to come. But without further ado, let's get into it.
The title of this video may come as a surprise to some of you, and you probably clicked on it to see how it's possible to argue that Garrosh, an end boss to an expansion, could do no wrong.
Exactly why I clicked.
Obviously, he might have done a few bad things, but
a little more than that.
Reasons for it all, and that's what I'll be explaining.
So this guy's on the
the
side if he did nothing wrong.
Garrosh knows that it was his father that drank the demon blood first and doomed his race to the fate they had now.
Okay.
He lived most of his life thinking his father was a big screw-up, and in the family-centric culture that the orcs have, was a thing to legitimately be ashamed of.
Okay.
Garrosh was ashamed.
Funny enough, I actually did not know that his dad was the one who did that, so.
And afraid of his legacy. Until one day, Thrall shows up and is all like, "Yeah, dog, your father was actually the savior of the orcs, not the cause of the downfall.
Okay.
Join my army and embrace the Hellscream name."
Word.
And Garrosh does. For the first time in his life, he's proud of what his father is.
He's proud.
What he did.
Aw.
And he wants to be just as good, if not better than his father. Of course, Thrall.
So, you're telling me he had a chance to maybe not do all this?
Might watch the history of the Horde, but he was just trying to cheer him up. This
Right.
was the first of many mistakes Thrall made, which led to Garrosh's death. Now, Garrosh is a part of the Horde.
That's
He
tough.
becomes a general and leads the Warsong clan in battles against the Alliance.
We know this.
Let me take a moment to explain Orcish culture a little bit. All the clans compete against each other for territory and dominance.
Right.
They have a very warlike culture, and never united because they were too busy fighting each other.
We know, we know.
All of a sudden, the demons intervene and all the orc clans unite. With them not infighting anymore, they have to compete against something, and that's how the Warcraft story started.
Right.
With Kil'jaeden taking advantage of Orcish culture to wipe out the Draenei. Now, back to Garrosh. Garrosh has an enemy to fight, the Alliance and the Lich King. When you do quests for Garrosh in the Northern Tundra, Hellscream sends you out to fight both, and you help him secure a foothold to eventually fight the Lich King, the big man himself who ravished the human kingdoms and destroyed the High Elves.
Garrosh.
And, by some miracle, he was successful.
Oh, it's kind of crazy.
When Arthas fell. Hellscream is the
I would have genuinely not thought you could win that.
one who gives you the buff in ICC to make the instance easier. Garrosh is seen as a hero to the Horde, especially the young orcs. He's also in the presence of Thrall, who takes him with him to important meetings. As you can see in the Ulduar in
I don't know, is this dude just trying to pop up Garrosh's name before listing the frickin' hellish shit he did wrong?
intro cinematic. Garrosh has proven himself in a pretty short amount of time as someone worthy of his legacy, and even comes to see Thrall as
That's
a
fair.
sort of father figure. Then the Cataclysm happens. Orgrimmar is pretty banged up from what Deathwing did, and Thrall wants to take off and become Jesus. He decides to put Hellscream in charge because he is well loved by the orcs. But Hellscream tells Thrall, "No way, dude, I'm a fighter, not a diplomat. This is a bad idea." And Thrall was like, "Well, too bad, dude, I'm doing it anyway, lol." And thrust the title of War Chief on an unwilling Garrosh when the Horde was in the middle of a crisis.
Bad idea, bro.
So,
Bad
what
idea.
does a orcish war hero do when put in charge of the Horde? Well, he runs it like an orc from Draenor would run things. Identifying the enemy, and do everything in your power to crush your opponent.
That's fair.
The Horde is low on supplies since they spent all their money on repairs for Orgrimmar. And since they live in the middle of a desert, natural resources are scarce. The Night Elves cut off trade with the Horde in Ashenvale when the whole Wrathgate fiasco happened, no longer trusting the Horde. So what does Garrosh do? He invades Ashenvale for the natural resources, of course. It was either that or...
Okay, I see what he might be going for. He's like saying like, well, he's technically doing it for his people. Like, he's going in and invading places because they're out of... Which I guess, I mean, that does make a little bit of sense.
or let his people die
I
of the effects of
guess.
starvation. So the Druids of Ashenvale hold a meeting to maybe let the Horde trade with them again to stop the invasion.
Honestly, I might actually be on his side. But there is still 6 more minutes to see what other stuff he did. But I don't know. You know, it is for his people.
One of the Tauren Arc Druids in the meeting saw that one of the ambushers was an orc, and told Carney. Karni then thought it was Garrosh who was responsible, since none of the other racial leaders cared very much for Garrosh at the time.
Right.
So he challenges Garrosh to a duel, and Garrosh accepts, even though he had nothing to do with the
Garrosh has
Karni
hands.
just doesn't like the way he's running things.
Yep.
During the duel, Garrosh kills Karni by accident because Magatha Grim Totem poisoned his weapon before the fight without his knowledge. Turns
Oh,
out,
shit.
the orc that ambushed the druids was part of the Twilight Hammer cult.
Damn.
Had nothing to do with Garrosh. But, of course, both of these instances
That was
still leave a
accidental.
sour taste in the mouth of people for Garrosh.
That was accidental,
Even though
though.
he wasn't really responsible for either.
Fair.
Origin, the person Thrall told Garrosh to turn to if he ever needed advice, basically insults him and threatens to kill Garrosh.
Watch your back, man.
Sylvanas is creating a new plague. just
Yeah,
like the
Vol'jin
one that
would.
was used at the
Well, I
Red
haven't
Keep,
none of that.
and is killing people intentionally to raise them again as undead. Garrosh goes over there to tell her to cut that shit out because she's behaving no differently than the Lich King. Of
Right.
course, Sylvanas ignored him and does it anyway, and then asks for Orcish help when things turn sour for her while invading Gilneas. So, what does all this teach Garrosh? Well, the other races of the Horde don't understand what he's doing.
Don't mess with him.
He's running the Horde like an orc would, like his father, who he idolized more than anyone would.
Right.
And he is getting nothing but shit from everyone in return.
That's kind of tough,
When one of
honestly.
his own men kill a village of peaceful druids, he personally comes to the location and kills the commander in charge.
Damn.
Because there's no honor in killing people who aren't even fighting back. Garrosh's philosophy
Holy
is
shit.
finding an opponent
Uh,
and defeating them by any means necessary.
I like that he recreated it in
not
game.
killing peaceful villages for no reason. So Garrosh continues.
Oh no, that's the
campaign
scene from the
against
game. I'm stupid.
He's been at war with the Alliance since he's joined the Horde. Why would he stop fighting them now when they are being openly hostile towards him? So, he decides to take out the Alliance foothold right in his front yard.
Yeah.
People may question Garrosh for blowing up the entire city, but
Yeah.
they were at war. It's not like he just flew over Theramore one day and dropped.
See, but that's like kind of 50-50. Like, with even situations in real life where, like, it's kind of fucked up that you bombed, you know, everybody, because there is innocent people in there, and innocent people probably died in that situation. So, I would say that's one evil thing that Garrosh did. He bombed them. He shouldn't have done that.
His foothold right in his front yard.
Because innocent people
People may
died at the end of the
question
day.
Garrosh for blowing up the entire city, but they were at war. It's not like he just flew over Theramore one day and dropped the nuke.
Still wrong, in my
They'd been
opinion.
fighting for weeks, if
Depends
not
on-
months before that.
Depends on how you
Then the
feel
hidden
about it, I guess.
continent of Pandaria was discovered. A giant,
Hey.
brand new land filled with natural resources. Of course he's going to want to get his hands on it. The Alliance do the same thing as well. While there, he also finds all kinds of artifacts, powerful ones that could boost the power of the Horde. He'd be stupid not to try and put them to good use. After finding the heart of Yasharaj, Garrosh finally has enough power to accomplish the goal of the Horde. To take out
Okay.
the Alliance and control the world, united under one leader. This is a goal even Wrathion wanted as well. Since
Doesn't make
the
it right,
world would be
though.
Better off if the two factions stopped fighting. And the only way that would ever happen is if one of them took over the other.
Okay.
So Garrosh
So-
takes all of his new wonders from Pandaria back.
So he kind of has a good thought behind wanting to rule the world. He just doesn't want to fight, but then it goes down like, hey, how many people are you going to kill to get there? How many wrongs are you going to do to get it right? You know?
fighting. And the only way that would ever happen is if one of them took over the
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
So Garrosh takes all of his new wonders from Pandaria back to Orgrimmar to prepare for the coming war. It's then that the other races of the Horde rebel. And War Chief. But then Thrall himself joins the fray. Goes to Orgrimmar, not to reason
Thrall's
with Garrosh,
back.
the person he put in charge of the Horde, even though Garrosh himself told Thrall it was a bad idea, but goes to Orgrimmar to kill Garrosh himself.
Wow.
Garrosh defeats his old mentor.
Yep.
In too deep now.
We seen
And
that.
has the power of an old god. Of course.
Damn.
He wins. He doesn't kill Thrall though, because
That
even
form
though
looks
Thrall betrayed
sick.
him, he still sees him as a kind of father figure.
Yeah.
Then after the combined might of the Horde Rebellion and the Alliance finally take down Garrosh, Thrall is all too eager to kick him while he's down. But the Alliance
That's tough.
king of all people stops him, and
Oh, wow.
a trial for Garrosh instead. And
Oh.
of course, Garrosh gets lampooned at his trial. Anyone on the losing side of a conflict is going to come out of it looking like a bad person.
Right?
But despite all he did during his reign as the War Chief, the Celestials, ancients who have lived thousands of years and are thought of as pinnacles of wisdom and intelligence by the Pandaren,
Okay.
think Garrosh deserves to live and spare his life at the trial. The Celestials themselves think it wasn't
Doesn't that technically mean the creators of World of Warcraft thought Garrosh did nothing wrong?
completely
If they have the people who are like known as that, or the creatures who are known as that, like say, hey, no, he deserves to live.
Garrosh's fault.
I don't know.
That the Bronze Dragon Trader and Wrathion break Garrosh out of the courtroom and take him to an alternate Draenor to build an army to stop the Legion. But Garrosh has different plans. He wants to meet his own father himself, since he probably won't get a chance like this ever again. He meets up with his dad, in disguise, and is able to convince him to never drink the demon blood, saving the orcs from demonic influence. But meanwhile, on Azeroth, Thrall is not happy about Garrosh escaping. When the Iron Horde comes through the portal to invade the Blasted Lands, Thrall seizes as a chance to finally...
I'll just say, it's 100% not 100% Garrosh's fault. This other dude is to blame as well. That's interesting.
And that's the end of the video.
Okay, I'll put it this way. Garrosh did many things wrong. But I will say, it's not just his fault. But I never thought it was just his fault. I feel like Garrosh's story has been told 1,000 times. I think of it like Pain from Naruto. Kind of a good goal, but a terrible way to get there. Like Pain from Naruto, he said he's willing to kill anybody to get peace. Which is just not peace, you know? It's not how it works, but they're so locked in on this goal that they'll do anything to get it because they think it's right. And they're not realizing how many people they're hurting. So I think Garrosh did do things wrong, but it was kind of like a good thing at heart. And he was also put in a situation he didn't even want to be put in. So that other, I don't like that other guy. Thurl, hopefully I'm saying his name right. I don't like you, bro. At least from what I've seen in these videos so far. You know, you put Garrosh in this situation, and then freaking killed him for the situation you put him in. But also, Garrosh definitely went about things the wrong way. That's how I'll put it. So I'm like in the middle. You know, he definitely did things wrong, but I don't think he was like pure evil. Well, anyways, guys, hopefully you did enjoy my reaction to Garrosh Did Nothing Wrong. Make sure to leave down more things for me to react to down below. And hey, if you guys did happen to enjoy, please make sure to like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.